about the money, it's the principle. Gotta watch who you revere, who you listen to. I speak the Eastern soul, my flow medicinal. And I buried the old man, now I'm invincible. Gotta be wise in judgment, it's critical. Either couple with this brotherhood or you'll get ridiculed. The greatest man, the greatest servant, I kill for who I minister to. And I'm going war, nigga, win or lose. Hey, I was forged from the fire, torn from the liar. If hand join in hand, you'll get caught up in the crossfire. Become a casualty of chance. I'm in my stance, still in hand, ready to swing it like a lance. If the enemy advance, I'ma enhance. Had the benefit of the doubt, he never had a chance. Hey, this the shit that they beg for, that burn down the wicked Judge Dredd flow. Bitch, I am the law. Dog faced it, prepared for war.
I'm gon' war till the day I'm done. Number one till the day I'm done. I'ma grind till the day is done. I'ma war till the day I'm done. It can't stop me. Nothing new up under the sun. I'm gon' war till the day I'm done. Number one till the day I'm done. I'ma grind till the day is done. I'ma war till the day I'm done. It can't stop me. Nothing new up under the sun.
I see what they say. Never envy a carnal man. Claim they real, they actions don't match what they saying. I got the upper hand, what you don't understand, youngin'. I'd rather bleed than concede, now that's saying something. These niggas cunning, they want my power, they never take it from me. Hey, for that money, I heard you assisting. They can't go out like that, they'll have to 86 me.
Hey, clap it up, clap it up, clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbarakatham to all the brothers, Yahweh Shamar Alathan by Shem Yahweh Shah to all the sisters. We're the I.S.U.P.K. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. And we've been teaching the truth of the Bible since 1969, right? And the truth of the Bible is that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of, and you must have perfect brotherhood. You must have brotherhood. All around the world, all around the world, these different cultures around the world, they do not have brotherhood, right? Us, we have brotherhood written into our laws. You know what I mean? We have brotherhood written into our laws. Like, for instance, with the Edomites, right? With the Edomites, you have, in America, you have Republicans and Democrats, right? And they hate each other. They go at each other. How do we figure out that Donald Trump was touching boxes? Right? Because the other party brought it out. The other party, the ones that went out there and said it. You know what I mean? How do we know that Joe Biden was a pedophile? Because the other party had the videos of it. Right? Right now in Ukraine and in Ukraine and Russia right now, right? They're brothers, right? Putin said he wants to bring his brothers back together. How does he how is his way of bringing his brothers back together? His way of bringing his brothers back together is by bombing and murdering his brothers in Ukraine. That's what he said. He said he wants to bring his family back together. So he bombs Ukraine. He murders Ukraine. Those are the same people, right? And America's right in the middle of it. NATO right in the middle of it, which are all Edomite countries. They're right in the middle of it, egging it on, basically, trying to separate brothers. Well, here in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, we teach how to bring brothers together. That's what you've seen at the Passover. At the Passover, you've seen Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans without a quarrel. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans keeping ancient high holy days of their God, of their culture. That's what you've seen. You've seen perfect brotherhood. That's what you've seen over there at Passover. We see it every day in the school, in class. We see it every day in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. So it's time that everybody comes into the school, right? And learn brotherhood and learn perfect brotherhood at that. So like, all right, give me Deuteronomy. I mean, not Deuteronomy. Give me Leviticus 19 and 17. All right. 1 second. Deuteronomy chapter 19 and 17. Let me erase this. Let me know when you got it.
I got it, sir.
Go ahead.
Leviticus 19, Verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
Right. It says you shouldn't hate your brother in your heart. Right? We shouldn't be hating our brother in our heart. We should be walking around looking angry at our brother to talk about my brother did this, my brother did that. We should have some compassion for our brothers, right? That's what blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans lack. We lack compassion for our brother. But you know what we do have for our brother? We do have hate. We do have hate. How many times you heard about blacks not liking Hispanics or Hispanics not liking blacks? How many times have you heard that? But we're the same people. You know what comes in? You know what's in between that? Christianity. Christianity is in between that. Christianity and Catholicism, English and Spanish, right? It's just a language barrier. A language barrier. What would you call it? A language barrier, a religious barrier, and a color barrier. Because they say, oh, they light skin, or they mix with European blood, so they can't be us, right? They can't be us, which they don't know that. They don't know that they could just be light skinned, just like some blacks are light skinned. All right, keep going.
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
You said it says thou in any wise shall rebuke thy neighbor. I think you missed a piece. You missed a little bit.
I just said, thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart, and then it said, thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy brother. Oh, yeah.
All right. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor, right? So first it's talking about your brother, and now it's talking about your neighbor. And one is talking about you shouldn't hate your brother. Now it's talking about you should rebuke your brother. The Christian church is going to say rebuke means to what would you call it? Means not to correct your brother, but despise your brother, right? That would rebuke me. I'll rebuke you in the name of Jesus, right? They'd be like, you're talking about get away from me. And no. That rebuke does not mean to get away. Rebuke means to correct, to instruct your brother, right? When you see your brother going off and doing some things that's against the laws of God, right? You're supposed to go to your brother and rebuke him and be like, hey, brother, what's going on? You Tawab, you know you're not supposed to be eating shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster, right? You know we don't celebrate. You know we're not supposed to do these heathen holidays or these pagan days. You know what I mean? We're not supposed to do that, right? You're supposed to correct your brother. Keep going.
And not suffer sin upon him.
Right. And don't suffer sin upon him. If you see your brother going through a tough time with alcohol, let's say he's a drunkard, right? Don't be around there. Don't be around there drinking, getting drunk in front of your brother, drinking in front of your brother, talking about why you ain't having a drink. Oh, you can have a drink with your brother. No, if he can't hold his liquor, right? You're supposed to stick with your brother and not drink in front of your brother. Both of y'all supposed to just be sober. You know what I mean? Well, let's go get some cranberry juice. You dig? Like, you know what I mean? I remember when I was going through my little ordeal and things like that. When we was going to Brotherhood and stuff, I was drinking cranberry juice. I had brothers drinking cranberry juice with me. It was like, nah, you ain't drinking. I'm gonna get some cranberry juice also. You feel me? I had to damn near like, I'll buy you a drink, bro. Have fun. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Verse 18. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
Right. So now we had brother, we had neighbor, right? We have brother again. Now we having the children of thy people. It's all in the same category. It's all in the same category. So your brother is your neighbor. Your neighbor is the children of thy people and your brother. Right? Am I right? So it says you shouldn't just start at 18 again.
Verse 18. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
You shouldn't bear a grudge, right? Or avenge a grudge against the children of thy people. You shouldn't be like that, especially that goes for gangs. You know what I mean? That goes for gangs. You know what gangs do? They both black gangs, Bloods and Crips, right? A Blood will kill a Crip, and the Crip go back and kill a Blood, and they go back and forth. They be like, no, man, we can't have no truce. We can't be together because they killed Lil Pookie, and then they killed Ray Ray. You know what I mean? which is understandable because somebody has murdered your brother that you call your brother, but you got to realize that's your brother also on the other side. And you got to realize that they're going through the same thing that you're going through mentally and oppression from the devil. You know what I'm talking about? From the so-called white man is oppressing both sides. You feel me? And that has to do with the Hispanic gangs too. That has to do with the Hispanic gangs too. We're all being oppressed by the same people. So why don't we just come together, right? And we come together under God's laws and do what the Most High say, so we can get out of this place from under our oppressors and we can rule over our oppressors, right? It's about time that we come to a perfect understanding about what's going on the other side, right? About the shoe being on the other foot, right? So that's what Christ was talking about when he was talking about hating, about turning the other cheek and loving your enemies. It wasn't talking about loving the white man. He was talking about loving Bloods and Crips loving each other. Orejones and Mexican Mafia loving each other. MS-13 and you know what I mean? And Mexican Mafia loving each other and Sureños and Norteños loving each other. That's what he was talking about. He wasn't talking about loving your enemies as in loving the other nations, these heathen nations that oppress you every day and kill you every day. He was talking about your brother that kills you every day, loving him. You know what I mean? Showing him love, showing him a little bit of compassion, because that's all a black man or a Hispanic man ever needs is a little bit of compassion, a little bit of love. That's something that they never, that a black man and a Hispanic man and a Native American man has never shown each other, is compassion and love until they come into the Israelite school of universal and practical knowledge. And that's the same thing with the sisters. That's the same thing with the sisters. That's what they never get until they come into this school, until they come into this knowledge of who they are, of being the Lord's chosen people. That's our common ground right there. Those laws, statutes, and commandments, that brotherhood, that understanding. All right. Is there any more in that scripture?
18. But thou shalt love thyself as thy neighbor.
Yo, go ahead.
Right. But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord.
Right. He said you should love your neighbor as yourself. And then he told you who he was, telling you this. He said who he say he was?
I am the Lord.
I am the Lord. Right? Because you're supposed to love your brothers like you love yourself. You're supposed to love your neighbors like you love yourself. You're supposed to love the children of thy people like you love yourself. And it's that simple. And if you love yourself, you wouldn't be selling you wouldn't sell yourself drugs, crack and heroin and pills, right? That's what you don't if you love yourself, you wouldn't do that to your brother. If you love yourself, you wouldn't molest your kids. You would, you know what I mean? So why would you molest your brother's kids? That's something that the Christian church does. The Christian church and the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church has over 400,000 cases of child molestation. And then they just move the priests around so they do it again and do it again and do it again. When really they're not supposed to, when really they're supposed to be put to death. Right? That's what's going to happen when Christ comes back. When Christ comes back, man, those child molesters are going to be put to death if they don't repent. As in being a black, Hispanic, and Native American, of course. You know what I mean? If they don't repent, they will be put to death. Right? If the Christian pastor loves their brother, right? Loves his brother as himself, he wouldn't be teaching them to celebrate these heathen nations. Just be celebrating Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving, Ramadan. They put that in there too, because Islam is worshiping another god also. That's what Farrakhan does. Farrakhan teaches brothers how to worship another nation, how to worship another nation's customs. And he going to tell you that the real Jews are the real Israelites are blacks people anyway, right? That's what he's going to tell you. But then he's going to also tell you that we should follow the Quran. But then don't speak no verses out of the Quran. Everything he speaks comes from the Bible. Well, if they're not so confused, that's confusion right there. You know what I mean? If you say you're the children of the Lord, why don't you come out of the Lord's book? Right? Who checked this? Somebody, a couple people checked in. Hold on. And that's it right there. And he said, I am the Lord. Right. Let's go to the next. Hold on. I got notes. Right. And today's class is rank and order. Right. We talking about rank and order today. Brotherhood. And now that's perfect brotherhood. Because if you have rank and order, you're gonna have perfect brotherhood with brothers and your sisters. Right. That's how we keep everything flowing in. That's how we keep everything flowing and keep everything in order. It's about rank and order. You know what I mean? Because when you have rank and order, brothers ain't arguing about who gets they do argue about who gets the last piece of pizza, who gets the last piece of pie. They be like, no, you take it, brother. No, you take it, brother. No, you take it, brother. Because that's the brotherhood. You know what I mean? To somebody say, come in and be like, why don't y'all just split it down the middle? Why don't we? You know what I mean? Now brothers ain't arguing about who taking out the trash. You know what I mean? Somebody's giving orders on who take out the trash. Brothers ain't arguing about who gets the front seat. You know what I mean? To give it to the highest ranking man. He takes the front seat. No sweat. You know what I'm talking about? Go ahead, unless he says not to. Unless he says, no, you sit up front. You know what I mean? Real talk. I remember one time, Captain Katazai, he was going to put me in the back seat one day. I was like, no sweat. I was going to squeeze back there. He was like, nah, brother, you get the front. You know what I mean? He's like, you twice my size. Go ahead and get the front. I'll suffer the back. That's brotherhood, but that's also rank and order. Because I was going to give him the front. Con, sir. You know what I mean? No sweat. You know what I mean? Give me 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 40. 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 40. Let me get that. Ill.
You say ill, dude? You said 1 Corinthians?
1 Corinthians 14 and 40.
14. There we go.
Come on now.
Let's draw.
1 Corinthians chapter 14 and 40.
Got it.
Got it. Go ahead. You can start reading it whenever you get it.
Okay. 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 40. Let all things be done decently and in order.
It says, let all things be done what?
Decently and in order.
It says, let all things be done decently and in order. Right?
Okay.
How can everything be done decently and in order?
Right.
Well, you got to raise your hand first, right? Hey, see, that's rank and order right there. Go ahead.
Rank.
By having rank and order. Right? Somebody has to tell somebody what to do. If not, everybody's just going to be doing what they want to do. Everybody's just going to be doing what they want to do, teaching what they want to teach and all that. But somebody has to be in charge of something and has to give the counsel on how to do things the right way. Right? And that rank and order goes all the way down the line. Commanding General Yohana has to do what Christ says. You know what I mean? The generals do what Commanding General Yohana says. The captains do what the generals say. The officers of 5,000 do what the captains say. The officers of 1,000 do what the officers of 5,000 say. Right, and so forth down the line. The officers of 500 do what the officers of 1,000 say, and the officers of 50 do what the officers of 500 say, and the troopers do what the officers of 50 say, and the young men do what the officers of 50 say also. Right? That also has to do with your household. That order comes with your household also. We're about to get that next too. Read that one more time.
1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 40. Let all things be done decently and in order.
It says, let all things be done decently and in order. Right? That has to do with you getting a wife. And that also has to do with a wife getting a husband. That has to be done decently and in order. That's why when we do read the I.S.U.P.K. The I.S.U.P.K. the security announcements, right? It has about the 6 months, about the 6 month rule. You can't talk to a sister for 6 months, or she can't talk to a brother for 6 months. And then when they do reach their 6 months and they have an interest in a particular brother or sister, you have to go talk to the head of the school or of the camp to be able to speak to that brother or sister. And then once you get that permission, then y'all can court for 6 months. And then after that 6 months, then y'all have to get permission to marry. You know what I mean? That right there is decently and in order. That right there is decently and in order. But then when after that, there's a with the relationship, there's a rank and order system with the relationship. There's an order and there's a rank and order with the relationship. From there, let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 3. Start at verse 1.
Okay. 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 1. Be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Christ.
Start that over one more time.
1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 1. Be ye followers of me.
It says, be ye followers of me. Right? This is Paul talking, right? And he's writing letters to the school and that's in Corinth, to the school of Israelites that's in Corinth, right? And he's letting them know about what happened with Christ and everything like that. And he's telling them, be ye followers of Christ. Oh wait, say that one more time.
Be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Christ.
Right. That's that ranking order right there. That's that ranking order right there. Hey, be a follower of me as I'm a follower of Christ. Right? Just like we're followers of Commanding General Yohana, right? But he's a follower of Christ. You know, you know what I mean? So it's the same difference, right? Keep going.
Verse 2. Now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things and keep the ordinances.
Right. Now you're saying, remember me in all things. Right. Remember what I set down. Remember what I've written about, what I've written to you in all things. You know what I mean? If you need questions on anything, you write me a letter, you come, you know what I mean? Talk to me and we'll set it out. Right. But remember me in all things, because I remember Christ in all things. Right? Go ahead.
As I delivered them to you. Verse 3.
Hold on one second. I got a question. She said, "Salaki, sir, hi, Mace. Making sure everyone is on one accord. We represent one another, so it's important to keep everyone in order." Yeah, that's right, sis. That's right, sis. We keep that's right, because we all represent the school. You know what I mean? Once you get your Hebrew name and things like that, we all represent the school. So we have to. So when we're out in public, we have to act like we have a rapport about ourselves. You know what I mean? Like we're changed beings, like we're new creatures in the earth. You know what I mean? Act like we're followers of Christ. That's something that the Christian church don't do. The Christian church does not act like they're followers of Christ. They act like heathen nations, literally. That's how they celebrate. That's how they and that's how they act in the church. A shumming a high, a shumming a hoop, jumping around, hooping and hollering. You know what I mean? That's how they act in the church. They talking about they're speaking in tongues. Well, tongues has to be interpreted, and nobody's interpreting their tongues because their tongues are babble, blabber, blah 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 blah. Basically, a shumming a high, a shumming a who, a shumming a hish. Yeah, yeah, you know what I mean. Keep going.
Verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man in Christ.
Start at verse 2 again.
Verse 2. Now I praise you, brethren.
Right. It says, now I praise you, brethren. Go ahead.
That ye remember me in all things.
Right. You remember your camp leader in all things. You remember Commanding General Yohana in all things. You remember Christ in all things. You know what I mean? When you go out and you go into the public and you go do things in the world, or you know what I mean, whether you're going to the grocery store or whether you're going to work, You remember the men above you. You remember that. You know what I mean? You remember that. You know what I mean? Because the men above you has that rank for a reason. That rank is just not given just because they like you. It's given because the Lord is giving it. You know what I mean? The Lord is giving that rank. Go ahead.
And keep the ordinances.
And keep the what?
Ordinances.
Keep the orders. Keep the orders. You know what I mean? The orders that Christ gave us, that gave commanding Junior Hana, and that they gave us, they gave their captains and the generals and the captains and the officers of 5,000. You know what I mean? That the officers of 5,000 gave you. You just remember those orders, those ordinances, meaning those laws, statutes, and commandments. Remember that right there, man. Remember that right there. Don't go into the world and don't leave here and then go smoke some weed. Don't leave here and go mess with whores. Don't leave here and go celebrate your birthday and Christmas and Easter and Thanksgiving and all these different things. Don't do that. As you was here, you should be out there in the world, a man of God. You know what I mean?
Good.
Go ahead.
As I delivered them to you. Verse 3.
Right, as he delivered them to the school in Corinth, because at that time Paul was given he was writing letters telling them about Christ and how he never sinned and how to keep the law. Christ came to show us how to keep the law, right? So then he was writing those letters to the school in Corinth, teaching them how to keep the law. You know what I mean? Just like commanding General Yohana did with us. Well, did with the generals and the captains and the officers of 5,000, and the officers of 5,000 are teaching us how to keep the laws. You know what I mean? They're showing us how to keep the laws. And to be an officer of 5,000, to be an officer of a 50 is almost impossible. You know, and also to be an officer of 500 is damn near not going to happen. To be an officer of 1,000 is impossible, and to be a 5,000, forget about it. Forget about it. I don't even want to think about that kind of responsibility. You know what I mean? I don't even want to think about that kind of responsibility. Like, so to be a captain of 10,000, a captain of 13,000, a general, forget about it. You know what I mean? Like that, that's pressure. That's pressure all on your back, man. Go ahead.
Verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man in Christ and the head of every woman is the man.
Start at verse 3 again.
Verse 3. But I would have you know.
Right. I'm going to have you know this. Keep those ordinances, and then I'm going to have you know this order. Go ahead.
That the head of every man is Christ.
Right. So the head of every man is Christ. Right. This Christ is up here. This is the man. Christ is up here. Right. Go ahead.
And the head of the woman is the man.
And the head of the woman, right, is the man. So the man, the Christ, man, and the woman. Go ahead.
And the head of Christ is God.
So you got that order. That's the Most High, Christ, right? Then it's the man, and then it's the woman, right? And then the woman take care of the kids. I'm not gonna say take care of the kids because they both take care of the kids, but the woman is in charge of the kids. You know what I mean? Do what your mama say. You know what I mean? I left your mama in charge. I'm out here doing this and doing that and at camp and all. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean? Hey, your mama better not call me and tell me that y'all acting up. You feel me? You feel me? The disciplinarian is the father. He's the head of the house, right? But he has a head too, is also Christ, who he must follow. And Christ has a head too, which is the Most High. And Christ did a great job at following the Most High. You know what I'm talking about? Because he never sinned. He never broke one of them laws, right? And then the man has to be a follower of Christ. You got to be just like do it. If you want somebody to follow, somebody to be just like Christ. Don't be a follower of Christ like Christians. You know what I mean? Because Christians say they're followers of Christ, but they don't do nothing that Christ did. They don't even keep a beard like Christ did. They don't even wear garments like Christ did. You know what I mean? They don't do nothing that Christ did. They don't celebrate the feast days like Christ. They don't do anything that Christ did, man. They don't even believe it. They believe in this guy. Christians believe in this guy. And we already know this is not the real Christ, right? We know this is Caesar Borgia. We know this is not the real Christ. So they don't even follow. They don't even follow the real image of Christ. This is who they follow. Don't be like them. Don't drop your sword. Don't be like them. Go ahead.
Verse 4.
Oh, that was it on verse 3, huh?
Yeah, yes, sir. All
right. Oh, no sweat. Let's get the next scripture. Let me get Isaiah 47 and 4. The book of Isaiah, chapter 47 and 4. Let's get that.
Isaiah chapter 47, verse 4.
Uh-huh.
As for our Redeemer.
Right. As for who?
As for our Redeemer.
Right. Who's our Redeemer?
The Lord.
Okay. I take it.
Or Christ.
Go ahead.
Christ. Verse 4. As for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name.
All right. So now I'm asking you the question again. Who is our Redeemer?
The Lord of hosts.
Who's that?
Yahweh.
No.
No, Yahweh.
All right, there you go. It says the Lord of hosts, right?
Okay.
What is when it says the host, right? What does that mean?
It like pretty much puts everything together.
No, I'll give you got your phone, right? I'll give you a second to Google it. Okay. Or does anybody in the chat knows when it says Lord of hosts, what does host mean?
Like, so when someone's hosting a party, he's like the top dog, like he's the leader.
That's a good answer, but does anybody in the chat know? I know somebody in the chat got the answers. You ain't got the answers, Sway. You ain't. I did that one time. I'm gonna just give it to you for time's sake. When it says host, it means armies. So Lord of armies, right? Because we are in the Lord in the army of the Lord. You know what I mean? You're trying to build yourself up and get rank in the army of the Lord, right? This is the Lord's army. That's why we look so militant, because we're the Lord's military. We go to war for the Lord. You know what I mean? That's what camp is, warfare. But also we go to warfare in our own homes every day by shedding ourselves of the world. We go to war with all of our lusts, cigarettes, weed, being drunk, whores, shrimp, crab, pork, lobster. We go to war every day. Life is about warfare. You know what I mean? Keep going.
The Holy One of Israel.
Right, the separate one of Israel. Right, because us following the Lord makes us separate from everybody else on this planet. You know what I mean? It makes us separate from everybody else on this planet. Us following those law, statutes, and commandments make us separate from everybody else on this planet. You know what I mean? Because nobody else is everybody is eating bat, rat, shrimp, pork, crab, lobster, pedophiles, having sex with whores, and all this extra. But when you follow the Lord, you become separate because we don't do those things. Why? Because it's against our God. It's against our power. Right? All right, everybody understand that? Read that one more time. I like that. The Lord of hosts is his name. I like that right there. You know what I'm talking about? That's his reputation. He's the Lord of armies. You know what I mean? I like that right there. That's hot.
Isaiah chapter 47, verse 4. As for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name.
Right, as our Redeemer. The Lord of Hosts is his name, boy. That's his reputation, boy. His reputation is the Lord of Hosts. He's the Lord of Armies. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
The Holy One of Israel.
The what?
The Holy One of Israel.
The Holy One of Israel. He is totally separate from everybody. We're totally separate, and he's the one. All right, yeah, my phone was gonna die for some reason. All right, from there, let's go to Exodus chapter 15, verse 3. Go ahead.
Chapter what?
Exodus chapter 15, verse 3.
15.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I read this. Exodus chapter 15, verse 3.
Uh-huh.
The Lord is a man of war.
The Lord is what?
A man of war. Sorry.
The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is a man of war. Now, when we talk about rank and order, right? What is rank and order used for? Go ahead.
The military?
Yeah, used for warfare. That rank and order is used for warfare. Somebody out there got to be controlling what's going on, and then they got to pass orders down to get to the lowest ranking man so they can know what to do on the battlefield. Right? Where your battlefield is everywhere because we're in the spiritual battle. You know what I mean? Your battlefield is everywhere. When you're driving, when you're at home, when you at the store. You know what I mean? You go get something to eat at McDonald's. You're at warfare right now. Because now with the things are coming out that McDonald's, everything has pork in it. The chicken nuggets got pork in it. The beef patties got pork in it. You know what I'm talking about? You're at a spiritual battle. You're in a spiritual warfare, man. We're in a spiritual warfare. We don't and our people out there in the world don't even know that they're in the spiritual warfare. You know what I mean? They don't even know that. It's up to the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge to show them that they're in a war, a spiritual war. Because they don't know that they're in a spiritual war. They don't know that they got to battle drugs every day of their life. They don't know that they got to battle getting money every day of their life. Because the thing that they do for money is a spiritual battle. Think about the pastors. The Christian pastors will sell out their whole congregation for money. Brothers will sell drugs for money. Women will go out there and sell their bodies for money. And think there's nothing wrong with it because they getting money. That's a whole different spiritual warfare. That's the same spiritual warfare, but that's a top-notch war right there. Getting money. That's a top-notch war. So we got to be careful on what we do to get money. And if we keeping that getting money above the Lord. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That's why brothers get off at work every day and go teach class. Get off work try to get off work and go to camp. You know what I mean? Shit, hell, if you tell them, if you tell your job you need Saturdays off, I need the Sabbath day off. I keep the Sabbath day, this, that. Boy, they would damn near fire you. They'll do everything in their power to get rid of you because you can't work on the Lord's Sabbath day. Oh, but a Christian, they tell, I need Sundays off I got to go to church. No problem. They give them that Sunday off and all that. But so you keep the Sabbath day. They be like, you ain't no Jew. That's what they tell you. Yeah, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? And they like real talk. But if he was out there telling them that God loves everybody and this, that, and Sundays is cool, oh, no sweat. Praise this guy. That's what they're gonna say. Real talk. You in a spiritual war, brother. And that's why we should be like our Father, be like Christ, and learn how to defeat those demons. You know what I mean? And Commanding General Yohana has done an excellent job on teaching his generals and his captains and his officers of 5,000 and officers of 1,000 and 500s and 50s on how to battle those demons and how to get those demons off of them. You know what I mean? And it's not easy, but if you're not battling it alone, you're battling it with your brothers and with your sisters, man. You can always call somebody. All right? Because you're a young man. You're young in the truth. I'm letting you know right now. You can always call somebody. Officer Dawada, myself, Ayala, somebody. We're just gonna talk you off the ledge because that's what it is. When you're thinking about picking up that weed, you're about to jump off the bridge. When you're thinking about having sex with that whore, you're about to jump off the bridge. You know what I mean? Because it's that easy to go back to death, go back to the world. It's that easy. You know what I mean? One hit. That's all. That's all it takes. So before you do that, you call and you talk to somebody. You talk to somebody. You get on Facebook, somebody you talk to. You feel me? You don't battle that demon by you. You don't have to battle that demon by yourself, man. You know what I mean? Because demons don't fight by themselves. Demons come with a whole legion of demons. They come with a group on you. You know what I mean? Demons will come with a group on you. So you got to come with a group on them. Like, I'm talking about, I ain't by myself. I got my brothers with me. We on. You know what I mean? I got, you know what I mean? You feel me? I got officer 5,000 with me, and I got two 5,000s and a 50 and a, you know what I'm talking about? Like, all right.
Hey, this is a lot of people in the chat.
Hey, Officer Kanak, Shalom, Lord, Shalom, Yahweh Hashem, Yisrael, thoughts, sir. All right, what's on crazy? I got you. Yeah, but that's what you do, man. You call. You don't sit there and try to battle that by yourself. You know what I mean? Because the Lord is a major Read that one more time. Exodus 15:3.
Exodus 15, chapter 15, verse 3.
Uh-huh.
The Lord is a man of war.
Right. The Lord is a man of war. And to be a man of war, you have to be a major tactician. You have to know this point, that point, where to attack here, where to attack there. You know what I mean? And that's why the Lord got you with brothers, you know what I mean, that'll fight with you. Because the Lord knows that the demons are strong. So the Lord knows that the brothers that's walking with you got to be strong. You know what I mean? They know the demon's a fighter, so you got to be with fighters to learn how to fight. You know, you know what I mean? It's not simple. It's not a simple thing. Yeah, Most High in Christ. Hey, as long as you in class, as long as you make it to class. He said yeah. He said he's late, but he made it. You know what I'm talking about? And he gave the power arm. Hey, as long as you make it to class, that's the only way you can battle your demons is by making it to class. You know what I mean? That's the only way you can fight your demons is by making it to class. Because the demons want you to be alone. The demons don't want you to have brothers. The demons don't want you to be around the brothers. They want you to be alone so they can pick at your brain and tell you to smoke that weed. They can pick at your brain and tell you to have sex with that whore. They want you to be alone. They want you to be alone. Because the demon's job is to kill you. And how do you die? By breaking those laws, statutes, and commandments. So that's the demon's job is to kill you. You feel me? That's what the demon wants you. So the only way he can kill you is alone. Because when you with us, you're not thinking about none of that other stuff in life. You know what I mean? But when you get alone, those thoughts come in your brain because the demon is there, and the demon been with you since birth. So he knows everything that makes you tick. Yeah, the demon been with you since birth. Your eyes like lit up, but the demon been with you since birth. That's why I take that. That's why when they talk about rank and order, you know what I mean, you have brothers to go to, and the higher in rank you get, right? The more higher in rank that demon gets. So when you're an officer of 50, you're gonna be battling a demon of 50. When you're an officer of 500, you're gonna be battling a demon of 500. Your officer of 1,000, you can be battling a demon of 1,000. They rank up. Sometimes demons don't even come to you as demons. They come to you as your mother. They come to you as your wife. You know what I mean? They come to you as your brother, your sister. You know what I mean? They come to you as somebody that you don't expect it. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Wait, so is that why like certain thoughts will come up and you like, whoa, I haven't thought that in a while? Like,
Yeah, that's why the other day you got that text message.
Oh, so okay.
Because now you in here, and the demon's like, I can't let him succeed in there. That's what's happening. The demon's like, no. The demon's like, nah, it ain't happening today. And the demon is trying to pick you away from here.
Oh, because I was driving today and I was like thinking of like, and like a certain thought just came. I was like, nah, you can't do that. Breaks the law.
Yeah.
I just came under.
Most High in Christ. But the demon is trying to get you out of here. He's trying to get you not to change your life. All right. From there, give me 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 3.
Okay.
2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 3. Those demons are tricky, man. They're tricky and they're very strong. And make sure y'all like and share the class, man. Like and share the class. Do not keep the truth to yourself.
It says 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 3.
Right. They say the game should be sold, not told. But in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, we tell the game for free. We tell it for free, man. For everybody, man. For everybody. Even the enemies can watch. Because they can't stop it. This is of the Lord. The Black Panthers were stopped. The Islam has been stopped. You know what I mean? Every black movement has been stopped except Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. It's never going to be stopped because this is of the Lord. You can't stop what the Lord wants to go. You get what the Lord wants. You can't stop it. I don't care how. I don't care who you are. You know what I'm talking about? You can't stop it. Donald Trump can't stop it. Joe Biden can't stop it. Nobody can stop it. Go ahead.
It's 2 Timothy verse 2, verse 3, right?
Yeah.
Chapter 2. Okay.
Louder. Get it loud.
2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 3.
Uh-huh. That's what I'm talking about.
Thou therefore endure hardness.
Right. It says what?
Thou therefore endure hardness.
It says endure hardness. Endure hardness. Right? So I know you want to see. I know you want to see your family, but they only get together on Christmas and Easter and Thanksgiving. So we can't do that. We can't go see our families. You know what I'm talking about? Tell them, have a Sunday dinner. You can go to Sunday dinner. Ain't nothing wrong with Sunday dinner. You know what I'm talking about? Have one of those and you can go to that if they want to see you. But you're not coming to Christmas and Thanksgiving and Easter and Halloween and whatever else they celebrate out there. 4th of July. You know what I mean? So you got to endure hardness and that's a hard thing not to go see your family. It's very hard. It's not you've been, you know what I mean? You've been with these people all your life. You know what I mean? And then now you have to not go around them as much as you want to because they're doing wickedness. You know what I mean? It says endure hardness. You know what I mean? When you lose all your friends, that's hardness. That's hard. That's a hard thing to do. You've been with your friends all your life. They've been your friend. They've been your partners. Y'all been rocking and rolling, and you know what I mean. But they smoking weed. Some of them popping pills and doing all types of wickedness and evil, having sex with whores and everything. You don't want to be around that, brother. You know what I mean. So you should stay around men of the Lord, especially right now as a young man. You know what I mean. So when Christ say endure hardness, endure that hardness. The world hates you because you want to follow Christ. Right. The world hates you because you want to follow Christ, man. Because you want to follow Yahushua and be a man of the Lord and do the right thing. Right. Do the right thing to your God, right? To your King. You want to do the right thing, right? By your brothers and your sisters, right? So the world hates you. The world is looking at you like, what you mean you don't smoke weed? Boy, weed is from the earth. You know what I mean? What you mean you don't want to have sex with her? Boy, she bad. Da, 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 da. You have to prove her first. You know what I mean? Sometimes women don't mean nothing but wrong to you. They don't want to do nothing but tear you down and hurt you. I don't know who this is. 1 second. Hello. I always want to like see. So I'm talking about. See, I'm talking about. I told them I had to teach class, and they still want to call me right now. See what I mean? That's the devil. You know what I mean? But where was I at?
Oh, we're on 2 Timothy verse 2.
Yeah.
Or chapter 2 verse 2.
But the Lord, but since you want to follow the Lord, right? You don't want to smoke weed no more. Everybody's like, so you don't smoke weed? What's wrong with you? Like, what's wrong with you, bro? You don't pop pills? What's wrong with you? What you mean? What's wrong with y'all? Like, you know what I mean? You don't do cocaine? You don't want a little hit of cocaine, brother? You don't want to have sex with the prostitute, brother? What's wrong with y'all? You know what I mean? Like that's literally how they act. But as a soldier of Christ, as Christ told you to do, right? Read it one more time.
2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
Thou therefore endure hardness.
Right. Therefore endure hardness. Right. Go ahead.
As a good soldier of Jesus Christ.
As a good soldier of Yahushua Mashiach, man. Oh. No. You good. You're you know what I'm talking about? But as a good soldier of Christ, man. You're a good soldier. Be a good soldier for Christ. You have to endure hardness. You know what I mean? You have to be tough, man. You can't just be you can't be around here just willy-nilly. You have to be a good soldier, bro. You have to be hard. Con out of one con, sir. And get the order done. Like we did earlier. You know what I mean? Broke the sign, got to get the new sign, we get the sign done. Con, sir, no sweat. We get it done. You know what I mean? Remember, I was at work, left work to come do the sign, came here to do the sign and all that, and then went back to work. And now we're here teaching class. And I'm about to go back to work after class. You know what I mean? Endure the hardness, but get the work done. The Lord's work. Get the Lord's work done. Go ahead.
Verse 4.
Right.
No man that warreth.
Right.
Warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life.
Right. It says no man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life. Right? Because if you going to war, you're not worried about smoking weed. You're going to war, you're not worried about that whore. You're going to war for Christ, man. That's the kind of spirit that we have to have when we go into camp. You know what I mean? When we're going to camp, man, you're going to camp to go war, man. So you can't be worried about arguing with your rib. Your mind not there. You know what I mean? That's something that's going to get your brothers hurt. You know what I mean? The men above you hurt. You know what I mean? Because you're not on Shamar. You're not watching. You know what I mean? You're not paying attention. So somebody going to walk right past you and hurt your brother when you should have been on that. You know what I mean? So no man that warreth entangling himself with the affairs of this life. You feel me? You don't worry about what's going on in this life, man. You worried about the kingdom. You know what I mean? We worried about when Christ come back. We ain't worried about this life. You know what I mean? That's what the Christian pastors do. The Christian pastors worry about this life. That's why they lie to the congregation, get all their money and go buy nice houses and Rolls Royces because they can't endure hardness as a soldier of Christ. They can't endure that hardness. They can't be broke. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, we broke. That's it. Yes. The pastor's congregation is broke. They're giving all their money to the Christian pastor, but they broke. The pastor can't be broke though. He just can't. Those rappers, those drug dealers that sell drugs, they can't be broke. That's why they have to sell drugs, try to progress it and get as much drugs as they can and sell as much drugs to whoever wants to buy it, to everybody. You know what I mean? Because they can't be broke. They can't suffer hardness. You know what I mean? Those rappers, that's why those rappers say whatever they want to say on them records. Whether they slept with this man's woman, they slept with that man's woman, they slept with your mama. They just sold this much drugs, that much drugs. They'll kill this nigga, that nigga. You know what I'm talking about? Because they have to say those things or they're going to be broke. And they can't be broke. They cannot be broke. So, and it's a horrible thing that, you know what I mean, that they have to sell out their people to be broke, to not be broke. So that's why those women rappers, most of those women rappers come from the strip club anyway. They were strippers at one time, and then now they're rapping about stripping. I don't know about rapping about doing this, doing that. They're just it's doing nothing but infecting the community. Black and Hispanic community is doing nothing but infecting them. You know what I mean? To now where all women think it's okay to have OnlyFans. All women think it's okay to be naked on Snapchat and Facebook and what else? Instagram. I don't know. All those. What's the name? YouTube. I don't know what they be on nowadays. It's Twitter. They you know what I mean? All women think it's okay to be naked and show your bottom out there when they should be listening to their husband or their man. You know what I mean? That's going to tell them not to. But you never know. Nowadays these brothers are so not soldiers and so weak, right? That they might be okay with a woman showing their body all off to everybody. You never know. Go ahead. Keep going.
That he may please him who hath chosen him to be a soldier.
Right. Who chose you to be a soldier?
Yeah.
Who chose? Yeah, him. But who chose you to be a soldier? Come on, you're almost there. Yeah. Go back up to verse 3.
Okay. Verse 3. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Jesus Christ.
Right. Now who called you to be a soldier?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay, there you go. No, then it's louder. You know what I'm talking
How was I?
There you go. Now keep reading.
Can I say? Verse 5.
No, verse 4.
Verse 4. Okay. Verse 4. No man that weareth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life.
Right. You don't entangle yourself with the affairs of this life because you're a soldier. Think about soldiers on the battlefield, right? The American soldiers, let's say that, right? They got snipers, right, that'll pee on themselves before they give up their position. You know what I mean? Because they're snipers, so they got to be quiet and, you know what I mean? If they got to pee, they'll pee on themselves before they give up their position on where they're at. You know what I mean? We got to, and us being Israelites, we got to be harder than that because we're the Lord's army. We got to be harder than that. You know what I mean? We got to be in a militant mindset. Go ahead. Good. Keep going. You read. That
he may please him who hath chosen him to be a soldier.
Right. So you can please Yahushua. You can please Yahushua and his father. You can please them. You know what I mean? To be a good soldier. To be a soldier, you know what I mean? To be that good soldier, you can please them. You know what I mean? You can be like they be ecstatic, like, yeah, I knew he was gonna be something. That's why I called him out the world. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's why I called him out the world, son. I knew it. You know what I mean? Like, all right, go ahead.
Verse 5. And if a man also strive for masteries.
Right. If you want to be a master of your craft, if you want to strive for being a master soldier, right? A master warrior, whether you're teaching class, teaching camp, teaching the camp, building camp equipment, you know what I mean? Video department, making fringes, making garments, whatever you want it to be, right? You want to be the master of it, right? Go ahead.
Yet is he not crowned,
Right? You won't be crowned, right? Go ahead.
except he strive lawfully.
Unless you,
Lawfully.
right? Unless you strive what?
Lawfully.
Unless you abide by the law. You won't get that crown unless you strive lawfully by the unless you keep that law, keep the laws of God. You know what I mean? You won't be. You could be. You just won't be. What can I say? What can I say? You can do as much as you want to do, but you won't. But you won't do it good unless you do it lawfully. You feel me? You feel me? You won't be the greatest you will ever be unless you do it lawfully. You know, they say be all you can be. Yeah, be all you can be for those law, statutes, and commandments. That's how you become a good soldier. And you know what rank and order? That's a part of those law, statutes, and commandments. Following those ordinances. Yeah, he's like, well, those ordinances. That's how you become a good soldier. By getting the order done. All right, give me the book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 24.
Come on, chapter 10, verse 24.
Right, Matthew chapter 10, verse 24. And if y'all have any questions, y'all can type them in the chat, man. We can go ahead and get some questions. Baba Kasha. We get some questions in here. It'd be to all. Go ahead.
Come on.
Whenever you got it, man, go ahead. You ain't gotta wait for me.
Come on. Matthew chapter 10, verse 24.
This is Matthew chapter 10, verse 24. Let's go. Let's get it.
The disciple is not above his master.
Right. The disciple is not above his master, right? So the lower ranking man, the lower ranking man is not above the higher ranking man. You get that? This is a scripture that people use, like, oh no, I'm not. No, see, we're not talking about masters and servants and. You know what I'm talking about? See, they telling you to serve your slave master when they don't understand. But see, those people are in the world and they don't understand rank and order. You know what I mean? They don't understand rank and order. Christians don't understand rank and order. You know what I mean? Because it's not talking about slave master. It's talking about like your higher rank. Go ahead.
I'll say it was talking about like the men that are above you, like the higher rank. Like
yeah.
5,000.
Yeah, you know what I mean? The lower ranking man is not above the higher ranking man. Or you know what I mean? Go ahead.
Nor the servant above his Lord.
Nor the servant above his Lord. Right? So the disciple is not above the higher ranking man, and the servant is not above the higher ranking man. Nobody's above their higher ranking man. We keep going.
Verse 25. It is enough for the disciple that he be as his master.
Right. You be as your master. Like you see the way Officer Dawada walks around and talks, and he got it from the captains and the generals, and you know what I mean? That's how he got it. He got that knowledge from the captains and the generals, right? So he's trying to be like them. He's trying to be like them. You know what I mean? So why shouldn't we try to be like Officer Dawada? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? He's trying to be like his masters. We're trying to be like him, like our masters. You know what I mean? Keep going.
And the servant as his Lord.
Right? Go ahead. Because we got to be like our Lord. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
If they have called the master of the house Beelzebub, Beelzebub. It's like,
Right.
how much more shall they call them of his household?
Right. Because the Beelzebub, they call it, that's his master, right? Because the Christian church, their master is Baal. That's their master. Is the devil, as the Bible speak of. That's why they do all that wickedness. Hold that. Give me John 8:44. Give me John 8:44. I think that's right. Yeah, the book of John, chapter 8, verse 44. Ye are of your father the devil. That's it. Yeah.
John 8, verse 44. Ye are of your father, the devil.
Right. See, they say ye are of your father the devil. That's this Christ talking to. Christ is talking to the Pharisees, the Sadducees and Pharisees. He's talking to black leaders. You know what I'm talking about? Black and Hispanic leaders. That's who he's talking to. You are of your father the devil. Right? Go ahead.
And the lust of your father ye will do.
Right, because that's their father. That's their father, basically. That's who they want to be. That's who they want to be, is the devil. You know what I mean? They want to be like him, right? So using that nowadays, the Christian church, the Muslim imams and all that, they're of their father the devil, and the lust of their father they'll do. That's why in the Christian church, the child molestation, they're robbing their congregation of money. You know what I mean? They're doing all types of manners of wickedness in the name of this guy. In the name of this guy, they're doing all types of manners of wickedness, right? And then you go to the Muslim mosque, right? They selling drugs, they beating on their women, all types of different things. All types of different things because they're doing the lust of their father. They're murderers and they're murderers in the Muslim mosques. You know what I mean? They'll kill their brother. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's what they do. Go ahead.
He was a murderer from the beginning.
Right. So the white man, their father, the devil, was a murderer from the beginning. So now we murder each other in the streets. Now we murdering each other in the streets. Look at the OGs and from the gang, from the different gangs, right? They're not telling their brothers, they're not telling their younger brothers to do something positive. They're telling them to go get a pack, put on for the hood and everything, like, you know what I mean? That's what they're telling. They're not telling them to clean up their ghettos, clean up their hood, clean up their neighborhoods. They telling them put on for the neighborhood, go get a pack and sell it. You know what I mean? They're not telling them anything that they need to know that's beneficial. You know what I mean? Unless they go to prison and get out of prison, and then they try to tell them, hey, brother, don't go that route. I just got out from doing 30 years. You know what I mean? Then they try to tell them right, but unless they do the long prison terms and things like that, they don't try to teach the young brothers nothing, right? Go ahead.
And abode not in the truth.
They did what?
Abode not in the truth.
They didn't abide in the truth, man. They didn't abide in the truth, man. They didn't have no they didn't have no truth in them, man. They didn't have no love in you know what I mean? They didn't have no laws in them. They did not abide in the truth. But you know who abide in the truth? Who abides in the truth?
Yahweh Shai.
Yeah, but who else?
We do.
There we go. The Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. These black leaders out here do not abide in the truth. They don't have no laws in them, man. That's why they do all the wicked things, man. That's why they'll go buy a whole bunch of toys for Christmas and give them out to kids. You know what I mean? When you don't have to wait for Christmas, you can buy a whole bunch of toys. You know what I mean? Whenever, and give them out to the kids whenever. Any kid would be happy to get a toy. But no, they got to do it on Christmas because they have to worship that white man. This guy. Because they have to worship this guy, bro. If they didn't have to worship, I'm going to keep saying that because this guy is the problem. They have to worship this God. I'm gonna get one of Muhammad. I'm gonna make one of Muhammad, and we're gonna throw that all at camp too. Real talk, brother. Real talk. But, is that it on that?
No.
Go ahead.
Come on. When he speaketh a lie,
Right? When he speaketh of Christmas, when he speaks of Easter, when he speaketh of America, right? Go ahead.
he speaketh of his own.
Right, he speaketh of his own lie. That's why they say you got to pull yourself up from your bootstraps. You know what I mean? They tell that's why in church they giving them a what's that called? A prosperity doctrine. It's gonna be all right. You're gonna get that house. You're gonna get that new job. You're gonna get that. And that's what they do because they have to speak lies of it. When we know we might not get that house, we might not get that new job. And if we do get that job, we just gonna get fired from it. Yeah, we get that new house, we ain't gonna do nothing but not be able to pay our bills and get evicted. You know, you know what I mean? We're black in America. Our only salvation is getting into this school in the I.S.U.P.K and following rank and order. You feel me? Now let's go back to matter of fact, we could drop that. Let's go to Exodus chapter 18, verse 21.
You said what? Or Exodus?
Exodus chapter 18, verse 21.
Okay.
And now let's see about the leaders that we should have.
Exodus chapter 18, verse 21.
Right.
Moreover, thou shalt provide out of all the people able men.
Right. No, weak men.
Able men.
No, men that don't care about their people.
Able men.
Men that's on drugs.
Able men.
Men that's worshiping other nations.
Able men.
Right. Able men. Men of the Lord. Strong men of good character and good rapport. Able men. Right. So we should provide out of the people able men. Not old men like Jim Brown. You know what I mean? That not men that like white women. Not men that sold drugs. Not snitches like Reverend Al Sharpton. Able men. You know what I mean? Brothers, men like Commanding General Yohana, General Mahayaman, General Mayak, General Hazayan. You know what I mean? Able men. You know what I mean? Strong men. Men that have good renown in these communities. Men that understand where the knowledge and the wisdom of the Lord is. Right? Go ahead.
Such as fear God.
As what do what?
Such as fear God.
Such as fear the Most High, man. Such as fear, men that fear the Most High. You know what I mean? Men that's not out here buying $65 million jets with tithes money. Men that's not buying their wives $300,000 Lamborghini trucks with tithe money. Men that's not putting money in the walls. You know what I mean? That like a drug dealer. That's what drug dealers do. Drug dealers put money in the walls. You know what I mean? So do Christian pastors. So do Christian pastors. Christian pastors put money in the walls also. Real talk. Real talk, brother. Real talk. And we just keeping it 1,000. Well, how they say it, 1,000 wow. We just keeping it 100. You know what I'm talking about? Keep going. Hold that right there. Give me Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13.
Here comes.
Let's see about fearing the Most High. Let's see what fearing the Most High is, man. Because everybody be like, I do fear the Most High. Christian pastor gonna say that. I do fear the Most High. I'm like, how? I'm scared. You should be, brother. You should be scared. You know what I'm talking about? You should be. Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. If you didn't know, conclusion means the end of everything, like the sum of all of everything. The conclusion. Let us hear the sum of everything, right? Of the whole matter. Go ahead.
Fear God and keep his commandments.
How do you fear God?
Fear God and keep his commandments.
So you fear God by keeping his commandments. Right? That's how you fear the Most High. Keep going.
For this is the whole duty of men.
That's your duty, black man, Hispanic man, Native American man. Right? We've been talking about war and rank and order and warfare, right? Right? That's what they say in the line of duty, right? That's our duty as soldiers is to keep those laws, statutes, and commandments, is to fear the Most High. And how do you fear the Most High? By keeping those laws, statutes, and commandments. And that's our duty. That's our duty. Right? Now let's go back to Exodus chapter 18, verse 21.
Was that Exodus?
Yep.
18.
Verse 21.
Here we go.
You can start at the top. Go ahead.
Exodus 18, verse 21. Moreover, thou shalt provide out of the people able men.
No, you read that right.
Moreover, thou shalt provide out of all the people able men.
Right.
Such as fear God.
Right. Able men that fear the Most High. Keep going.
Men of truth.
Right. Men of what?
Men of truth.
Men of what?
Men of truth.
Give me Psalms 142. Ooh. Give me 1 second. Ooh. I got it somewhere. Hold on. Psalms 119, verse 142. I knew I always get it backwards. I always get it backwards. I say Psalms 142 and 119, but I always get it backwards.
Verse 142.
Hey, Most High in Christ. Most High in Christ, all right.
Psalms 119, verse 142. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness.
Right. When you start doing right things to the Most High, you're going to be righteous forever. Meaning when you start becoming righteous, when you start learning law, statutes, and commandments, you're going to teach your kids law, statutes, and commandments. You're going to teach your wife law, statutes, and commandments. Right? And we do live through our kids, right? So we're going to teach our sons and our sons' sons and our sons' sons' sons these laws, statutes, and commandments. So that way we can be right with the Most High forever. Everlasting. You understand that? All right. Go ahead.
And thy law is the truth.
What's the truth?
And thy law is the truth.
Now, what's the truth again?
And thy law is the truth.
The laws of God is the truth, man. That's the truth, man. Hey, yeah, Most High in Christ, all right. Make sure you like and share the class, all right. That's right. Y'all one said you're reading stronger.
Oh.
Most High in Christ, you put that spirit on them. You know, put that spirit on them. You know. Now let's go back to Exodus.
Chapter 18, verse 21.
Chapter 18, verse 21.
Go. Exodus chapter 18, verse 21. Moreover, thou shalt provide out of all the people able men.
Right, men, strong brothers. Right, able men. Right, now it's going to tell you what able men is. Go ahead.
Such as fear God.
As fear God. How do we fear God?
Follow the laws.
There we go. All right, go ahead.
Men of truth.
Men of truth. What's the truth?
The laws.
The laws of God is the truth, right? So to fear God, right? You have to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Be a man of truth is you have to be a man that keeps the law, statutes, and commandments. Right? Go ahead. Covetousness.
Oh, covetousness. Hating covetousness.
Now Google that word.
Come on.
Google that word for me. Because everybody, we don't use these words every day. We probably use these words every day, right? As in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, we use these words every day. Covetousness, and you know what I mean. But the world does not know what covetousness is, right? Did it give you a definition? All right, go ahead.
Inordinate desire for wealth, or it doesn't say after that. It just says
desire for wealth. Try covet. Covet. Try covet. Try covet.
like this.
You got it?
Is this it?
Go ahead.
Wait, is this it right?
I don't need to. Go ahead. Covet. Covet. Go ahead. All right. I trust you.
Right here. Yearn to possess or have something.
A what?
Yearn to possess or have something.
A yearn to possess or have something. Right? That's the only definition on it?
Kind of concept.
Right. So now let's go back to covetousness. Let's go back to the scripture.
Okay.
You just started hating covetousness.
Hating covetousness.
Right. Hating covetousness. Hating the yearn to have something. Right. You know what brothers in the world always want? Another brother's wife. Another brother's wife. They see a brother walk. They see a sister walking with a brother, and if she fine, but ooh, they be trying. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? A brother's car. They'll carjack a brother in a minute. You know what I mean? They covet. That's the yearn to have things. You know what I mean? You should hate that thing there. You know what I mean? You should hate to want to see a brother doing good and want to go rob him. You know what I mean? Real talk. Go ahead.
And place such over them.
Right.
To be rulers of thousands.
Right. So you should be, now they're setting up rank and order, rulers of thousands, right? Right. They have captains of thousands, officers of thousands. You know what I mean? Right. Go ahead. Rulers of thousands. Go ahead.
And rulers of hundreds.
And rulers of hundreds, right? Now they setting up different how many men you be over or how many families you'll be over. Go ahead.
Rulers of 50s.
Right.
And rulers of 10s.
Right. They have that nowadays. They have governors. They have what do you call it? Right? They taken our system basically. Now they have they have governors, then they have mayors. And they have like councilmen and you know what I mean, aldermen, different things like that. Go ahead.
So is that what we do? We follow this and like we have like so the trooper is the ruler of like 10 and then you have the officer of 50 or
troopers don't rule anything.
Oh, okay.
Troopers are just the lowest rank you can get. You know what I mean? Because they got the Hebrew name. They just the lowest rank you can get, but nah.
Do we have ones that are rule over 10 or not?
Nah.
Oh.
This is more like keep going.
Kind of concept. Verse 22. And let them judge the people at all seasons.
Uh-huh.
And
okay, we do have rulers of 10s, it's like 50s. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Go ahead. Then we have rulers of hundreds, which is like 500. We have rulers of 1,000, which is like officers of 1,000.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Good. Or 5,000s. You know what I mean?
Go ahead.
10,000s, captains of 10,000s, captains of 13,000s. Go ahead, now, verse 22.
Okay. Verse 22. And let them judge the people of all seasons. Sorry.
Go ahead. Let them judge the people at all seasons. Go ahead.
And it shall be
right
that every great matter they shall bring unto thee.
Right. Every great matter they should bring unto thee. They taking brothers to counsel. Yeah. They taking brothers to counsel. Every great matter. You know what I'm talking about? Like what's going on here? They gonna judge the matter. Well, all right. Well, since you don't want to listen to this, that, and that, and this, and that, and that. You know what I'm talking about? Next. What's the problem here? This ain't the first time I've seen. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
But every small matter they shall judge.
Right. Go ahead.
So shall it be easier for thyself, and they shall bear the burden with thee.
They should do what?
Bear the burden with thee.
Right. They should bear the burden with thee. So you don't have a burden by yourself, man. They should bear the burden with you. So when you got a problem, you take it to the men above you. You know what I mean? All right, man. When we were going, when I was booking my ticket for the Passover, my plane ticket, I know Officer Dawud got me tired of calling him. I called him about everything. It's like, sir, how you do the plane ticket, this, that? You know, so like I was trying to do it, but it was saying something like this and that. He's like, oh no, you just got to go and do this. Called him about the Airbnb. How we do the Airbnb? Is it, you know, I was calling Officer Dawud about everything, but that's what I'm supposed to do. You know what I mean? That's what you're supposed to do that. You're supposed to call the men above you about everything. You know, so hey man, I just like you, sir. So you know, you feel me? You feel me? I was calling him about turmeric. Yes, I was calling him about the different things that I can put that I can like make teas out of, so I can help prepare my body for the trials. You know what I mean? Like, you know, so like we like that's what he's there for. Everything. You know what I'm talking about? Everything. You know what I'm talking about? Not just Bible scriptures, but everything. You feel me? You know what I'm talking about? Sir, I stubbed my toe. You know what I'm talking about? What should I do? You know what I mean? But that's what he's there for. He's there for everything. He's the man above us. You know what I mean? Rank and order. You know what I mean? All right, no sweat. And in him telling me how to do that, I was able to instruct Ayalawan when he was buying his ticket on what to do. You dig what I'm saying? You dig what I'm saying? Now I know how to buy my ticket. You know, so I know how to buy my plane ticket now. Oh, no sweat. You know what I mean? I never forget it. Real talk. They should bear the burden with thee. So burden, you know what I mean? So the more rank you get, the more responsibility you have. I call it the R&R, rank and responsibility. You know what I'm talking about? The more rank you get, the more responsibility you get. It don't get easier. It gets more difficult. You know what I mean? Because now when you ranked up, you don't have to just look out for yourself. You know what I mean? Now you got to look out for that brother below you and that brother below you and that brother below you. You know what I mean? Like I helped make fringes for you today, right? I also got to do that for the other young men, not just you. You know what I mean? I gotta help make the fringes for everybody. You know what I mean? I gotta get, you know, so I gotta get better at it. So I can't just make your fringes. I gotta make their fringes. You know what I mean? It's not. It don't get easier. It gets harder. You get more discipline in things. Go ahead. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 11. Yep, verse 11. Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 11.
Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 11. The Lord God, or Yahweh of your fathers, make you 1,000 times.
No, just think For right now, just stick with what it says. Don't try to put in no words. I will instruct you. I will teach you. We'll teach you that because that's the Lord. That right there. That's not saying Yahweh Shai. So don't worry about that right now. Go ahead.
The Lord God of your fathers make you 1,000 times so many more as ye are, and bless you as he hath promised you.
Right. So he said the Lord has made you 1,000 times more than what you are. So when you was in the wilderness, y'all went in there like 100,000 deep. Well, now you're almost 1,000,000 deep. You know what I'm talking about? So the Lord is making y'all a lot more than what you are. You know what I mean? Okay. Just like a few days ago, it was Officer Dawada, myself, and Ayalawan. Now we got 3 more young men. You know what I mean? That quick. And a new sister. That quick. Boom. One day. You know what I'm talking about? Like, whoa. You know what I mean? The Lord hears our prayers and he will increase us. Go ahead.
Verse 12. How can I myself alone bear your cumbrance?
Right. That's what Moses said. How can I alone bear so many people and so many brothers? You know what I'm talking about? Like so many people. How can I bear that, all that burden of so many people? Right? Go ahead.
Verse 13.
No.
Sorry. And your burden and your strife.
It started verse 12 again. Every time I'm gonna have you start over every time you mess up.
Verse 12. How can I myself alone bear your cumbrance? And your burden.
Right.
And your strife.
Right. So that was how can he alone do that? How can he alone do that? Everybody coming to me with all these problems and this and that. We in the wilderness. How can we do that? Right? Go ahead.
Verse 13. Take you wise men.
Right. He said, take you wise men. Take you wise men. Don't just take any old fool out there doing this and doing that. Take you wise men that believe in law, statutes, and commandments, man. Go ahead.
And understanding and knowing among your tribes.
It says wise men and understanding men, right? Understanding and known among your tribes. You know what I mean? That people know, and that people are like, oh yeah, that's a good brother right there. That's a good brother right there. Or that's a good brother right there. Men that people know, men that are wise, men that are understanding. You know what I mean? Don't take the OGs that's out there telling them to go sell drugs and pop your gun, bang bang. No. Don't take them. Don't take them. Right? Go ahead. And it says known among your tribes. Right? Okay. So all the 12 tribes, they getting brothers that they know that's knowledgeable and understanding. Go ahead.
And I will make them rulers over you.
Right. Moses gonna make them rulers over them. He's setting up rank and order right then and there. All right. So you gonna be a captain of 13,000. You gonna be a captain 13,000. You know what I'm talking about? You gonna be a captain 13,000. No, you gonna be a captain of 10,000. You gonna be a captain of 10,000. You know what I'm talking about? You gonna be a captain of 10,000. You be a captain 10,000. Y'all two report to him. Y'all two report to him. Y'all two report to him. I'm gonna need another captain. All right, come back. You be a captain 13,000. You be a captain 10,000. Captain 10,000. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all two report to him. Yeah. You know what I mean? That what they doing. Go ahead. Okay.
And said, the thing which thou hast spoken is good for us to do.
Wait. No, 14.
Okay, come.
And he answered me.
That's what I read.
Oh, yeah.
I see. Verse 14. And he answered me and said, the thing which thou hast spoken is good for us to do.
Right. It's good for us to do. You know what I'm talking about? That makes sense. That makes sense. That way we can, you know what I'm talking about? We have rank, we have order and structure. Right? Go ahead. You got a question?
Oh no, I'm holding my spot.
All right, go ahead.
Verse 15. So I took the chief of your tribes.
Right. You took the chief of your tribes, right? Go ahead.
Okay. Wise men.
Uh-huh.
And know.
And known. Right? So you took the chief of your tribes, wise brothers, known brothers, you know what I'm talking about? Like the brothers that are wise, the brothers that's known to be wise. He took them, you know what I mean? Brothers like Captain Tazariot. You know what I'm talking about? Captain Akkad. You don't know these names yet. I know you know Captain Tazariot. Yes. I don't know if you know Captain Akkad or not, but you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? Captain Marquard and Captain Kahan Tamyad. You don't know all these, you don't know these captains of 13,000 yet, but go ahead.
And made them heads over you.
Right, they made them heads over you. Go ahead.
Captains over thousands.
Right, captains over thousands. Go ahead.
And captains over hundreds.
Right, and captains over hundreds. Right, go ahead.
And captains over 50s.
Right.
And captains over 10s.
Right.
And officers among your tribes.
You see how that break down? You see how they broke that down? You know what I'm talking about? So Moses started making rank and order around there. Started putting ranks together and brothers that you report to him and you report to him and you report to that brother, you report to that brother. You know what I mean? All right. From there, go to 1 Samuel chapter 9, verse 9. You
said 1 Samuel chapter 9, verse 9?
Yeah, 1 Samuel chapter 9, verse 9.
1 Samuel chapter 9, verse 9. Before time in Israel, when a man went to inquire of God.
Right. It says before time in Israel, right, when a man went to inquire of the Most High, right? Like what was going on. So in the Christian church, what they tell you? They tell you, oh, just pray to the Most High and he'll talk to you and right? But right here it says before time in Israel, when a man went to inquire of God, right? Go ahead.
Thus he spake, come and let us go to the seer.
Right. He said, come, let us go to the seer. He didn't say when a man inquired of God, he just prayed and asked. And no, he went to go see the prophet. He went to go see the man above him, the prophet of God. You know what I'm talking about? You dig what I'm saying? You dig what I'm saying? So when you inquire of what to do, and you know what I mean, you go to the men above you. You dig what I'm Go ahead. Go to the seer. Go ahead.
For he that is now called a prophet.
Right. So what do they call the seers now?
A prophet.
Right. They call them a prophet. So now the seers are called prophets, man. And the only prophets are found in the Israelite school of universal and practical knowledge, man. That's the only place the prophets are found. Go ahead.
Okay, sir. For he that is now called a prophet was before time called a seer.
Right. So now he's called a prophet, but before time he was called a seer. So keep going. I mean, don't keep going, but start at verse 9 again.
1 Samuel chapter 9, verse 9. Before time in Israel, when a man went to inquire of God, thus he spake, come and let us go to the seer.
Right. So when the man went to inquire of God, he got to go to the seer. He got to go to the prophet. What's that boy's name? Hey, Truba Sapar. Hey, Shalom. Yahweh Yahweh.
You want really?
Yeah. So when the man goes to inquire to the Most High about what he should do in life and what, you know what I mean, about the woman he's going to get. Right? Remember we talked about that yesterday? Right, about the woman you should go get. What should you do? What should you do though?
Go to the prophets.
Right. You should go talk to not the prophets, but who should you go talk to?
The man above
No, not the man above you, because that's me. But or Yalawan. But who should you go talk to?
Captain.
No, go talk to Officer Dawada. Go talk to your camp leader.
Okay.
You know, go talk to your camp leader. He'll instruct you. He'll let you choose. He'll choose for you. You know what I'm talking about? He'll choose for you. Or if he don't want to choose, he'll take you to Captain Yatazak. He'll take it to the bed above him. They'll choose for you. You feel me? They'll choose for you. If you see one, you see like, oh, I think she's cute. Let Officer Dawada meet her. He's better at picking spirits. He's been doing this longer. You know what I'm talking about? You see some spirit up. She seems pretty cool, or he'd be like, I don't know about that art. You know what I'm talking about? He'll let you know. He'll let you know. You feel me? But if you want anything, you like, let's say you have a dream and something happened in the dream, you just don't understand it. It's not going like something like it's just bothering you. Go talk to Officer Dawada, and he'll get you in touch with the right people. I don't want to hear about it. Talk to Officer Dawada. I'm not finna interpret no dream. I don't know how to do that. Go ahead.
I was talking about like, you know, so I was having a dream about my ex, and then you remember like that day that she like texted me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had a weird dream about her. Like that's
some demons in your head. Had some demons, Art. Had some demons. It was on your mind. He was like, I had a nice, good old dream, and it's not. Yeah. But yeah, go ahead. Keep reading.
Verse 10. Then said Saul to his servant, well said, come, let us go.
We're not there. For he that is now called. See, now you got to start over again.
Then said Saul, wait, what?
No, you wasn't there. You was at for he that is now called a prophet.
Oh,
now you got to start at verse 9 again.
Before time in Israel, when a man went to inquire of God, thus he spake, come and let us go to the seer.
Right.
For he that is now called a prophet.
Right. So he that is now called a prophet, right? Go ahead.
Was before time called a seer.
Was before time called a seer. Right? Verse 10.
Verse 10. Then said Saul to his servant, well said, come, let us go. So they went unto the city where the man of God was.
Right. The man of what?
God was.
See, the man of God, the prophet. You know what I mean? But you see how Saul, you see how Saul took the advice of his servant, of his younger men. You know, Saul's king. He was like, whatever, bump that. But Saul was like, you know what? That's a good idea. You know, it's a good idea, brother. Let's go. You know, so you feel me? So it ain't always about not ruling over your brothers and things like that. It's about also letting them, you know what I mean, if they got any good ideas, you know what I mean. Hey, that's a great idea, bro. We're gonna rock with that one. You know, so I ain't think of that. Good thought. You know, like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's not always like, it's what I say go. You know, so always like, hey, that's a great idea. Hey, the brother had a great idea. You know, so we're gonna go with what he said because that's a good idea. You feel me? It's also like that. That's also part of brotherhood and rank and order. Also, is about taking a good idea when a good idea is given. You know what I mean? And you dig what I'm saying? Kind of. Because you might have a lot to deal with, so you might not be thinking that way. And then the brother comes to you, be like, "Sir, we should go this way, that way," because that's, you know what I mean. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I keep you around. You know what I mean? You know, it's all like, you dig what I'm saying?
Kind of concept.
Let's get Exodus chapter 4, verse 14. The book of Exodus chapter 4, verse 14. If anybody have any questions, they can go ahead and type them in the chat, man. We can go ahead and get some questions answered.
Exodus chapter 4, verse 14. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Moses.
Oh, Moses did. I don't know what Moses did, but go ahead.
And he said, is not Aaron, the Levite, thy brother?
Right.
I know that he can speak well.
Right. So at this time, he wanted Moses to speak to the children of Israel, right? But then Moses, what can I say? Moses had a speech impediment. You know what I mean? Moses had a speech impediment, right? Go ahead. Or was it a speech impediment? I don't think it was a speech impediment. I think it was a like he didn't speak Hebrew well enough. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
And also, behold, he cometh forth to meet thee.
Right. So Aaron is Moses' brother, right? He's like you know what I mean? So he was like, and Aaron's coming to meet you. You know what I mean? He's coming forward to meet you. Like, yeah, what's good, Moses? Because Moses knew who he was. Moses knew he was a Hebrew. He was an Israelite. He knew he was a Hebrew Israelite. Go ahead.
And when he seeth thee, he will be glad in his heart.
Right. When you see, he's gonna be glad in his heart. Go ahead.
Verse 15. And thou shalt speak unto him, and put words in his mouth, and I will be with thy mouth,
right,
and with his mouth, and will teach you what ye shall do.
Right. So the Most High is like, look, check this out. So I'm gonna talk to you. You know what I'm talking? You gonna be my mouth, and you gonna talk to Aaron, and Aaron gonna be your mouth. You feel me? That's how it's gonna happen. So I'm gonna talk to you, and then you gonna talk to Aaron, and Aaron gonna teach the people. Since you scared. I'm gonna say scared, but since you don't want, since you have a hard time talking, or you know what I mean, speaking, I'm gonna do that. That's what I'm gonna do, and that's perfectly fine because everybody's not a teacher, like, you know what I mean. Everybody's not a talker teach. Like, you can't. It be sometimes brothers can't talk. Sometimes it'd be hard for them to teach. You know what I mean? It's easier for other brothers to teach. Like, it's easier for other brothers to pick up Hebrew than other brothers. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Verse 16. And he shall be thy spokesman.
Right. And he said Aaron's going to be your spokesman. Right. Go ahead.
Unto the people.
Right.
And he shall be, even he shall be thee instead of a mouth.
Right.
And thou shalt be to him instead of God.
Right. Right. So now that's perfect ranking order right there. Moses, I'm gonna talk to you. You talk to Aaron. Aaron gonna talk to the people. You know what I'm talking? He gonna be your spokesperson, and you gonna be my spokesperson. You know what I'm talking? Because most like I ain't dealing with everybody. You know what I'm talking? I deal with my people, but I ain't dealing with everybody. I'm only dealing with you, Moses. I tried to talk to them. They was scared. You know what I'm talking? When I started talking, thundering started happening, and lightning and storms, and they was like, "Oh no, Moses, you talk to the Most High and tell us what He said." Yeah, you know that, right? You know that. We get it for you. All right.
Wait,
go ahead.
So like when thunder and stuff happens, that's like when the Most High is talking?
No. That's what happened because at first the Most High came down and tried to talk to the people, the children of Israel. But when he was talking, well, he didn't try to come down. He was just like talking, and when it happened, it was like thunder and lightning,
and there's all that.
Like they were like, what? Because if you ever seen lightning and heard thunder, it's not no nice. It's like like you know, sometimes it scared me half to death when the real loud and shake the whole crib. Like, oh snap! Like, what is going on outside? Like, yeah, so you never had that happen. You feel you like what's going on outside, and then lightning like lit up the whole sky out there. You know what I'm talking about? Like, what? All right, we're getting class there. And with that, pass the class over to A young man. You ever read the announcements before?
No, sir.
All right. Good. We're gonna read the announcements. You're gonna start out with this is the I.S.U.P.K security announcements.
Okay.
And you're gonna read through till they get right here to upcoming holy convocations. And the upcoming holy convocations, we're at the Feast of First Fruits. I'm gonna read that.
Okay, sir.
Right, and then we're gonna get into this.
Not to.
Now you can go there.
So these are the I.S.U.P.K security announcements.
We
Where
are the I.S.U.P.K.
Okay. We are the I.S.U.P.K. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, a teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Ties, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18, verse 21. Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10 means 10th in Hebrew. Or I.S.U.P.K. Mishra means 10th in Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase to the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher, priest fund. Free will offering for priest, not mandatory. Whosoever amount you would like, whatsoever. Upcoming holy convocations. Feast of First Fruits starts after the Sabbath, unleavened bread. Sundown, Saturday, April 23rd, 2022. Count 50 days. Celebrate the 50th day. Sunday, June 12th. Starts before sundown. Leviticus 23, 10 through 22. And these are the I.S.U.P.K security announcements.
All right. With that, Amajim. Sorry, turn and face the east. We're going to do the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. All right. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim. Kodash. Hayah. Shimka. Yahweh. Malakwika. Dabaa. Ratazayaka. Hayah. Aisha. Ba'arataza. Kawa. Hayah. Bashemayim. Natamnanawa. Lakom. Call. Yawam. Wasalaknanawa. Wasalaknanawa. Kawawatnawa. Kasalaknawa. Kabawasianawa. Walala. Taba'ayanawa. Banasaya 1. Abal. Hayashayanawa. Mayan. Ra. Kaya. Laka. Hamalakwas. Wala Allah. Wata Pa'ara. Lai Walumyum. Aman. What we said was in English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not. Into temptation. But deliver us. From evil.
from evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
For thine is the kingdom,
and the power,
and the power,
and the glory,
and the glory,
forever.
forever.
So be it.
So be it.
All right. And with that, we're going to give a courteous salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Ba Hashem, Yahweh Shah Barak Atah, Yad Matah, Real Sar, turn the page to sisters. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Shamar Alathan Ba Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Yad Matah. And with that, class is dismissed.